Good morning, Cubs fans. It's a big day in the baseball world. The Cubs and you and I have all been waiting in full anticipation of the trade deadline today, which is going to end at 5 p.m. So, I'm going to go over the trade the Cubs made. We're going to break down the Mike Soroka deal. They also acquired Andrew Kittredge yesterday from the Orioles. We're going to talk a little perspective and maybe a little Baltimore series preview. But again, everyone who has hopped into the videos, smash that thumbs up button, comment and share your thoughts. We appreciate every single one of you. Again, continue to do that. And if you are enjoying the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. So, the Cubs do acquire Mike Soroka from the Washington Nationals yesterday. It was a 2-for-1 deal. The Cubs sent prospect outfielder Christian Franklin and Feliz Cruz, I believe. So, Cruz, very, very young player. He was number 14 in our system, according to some of the sites. He's a shortstop, very, very young player. Years and years down on the road, potentially. Could he be good? Yes, absolutely. No problem there. But again, that's a lottery ticket. He doesn't really help the Cubs in the immediate future. Now, and Christian Franklin, on the other hand, he was an outfielder. He was in AAA. He's been doing okay, I would say. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, he was just blocked. Our outfield is absolutely loaded, in my opinion. So, again, when that happens, sometimes some people gotta go in that sense. So, again, it's gonna happen. It's part of the game. It's part of where we're at. But the Cubs needed this move. We needed to get Mr. Mike Soroka. Again, you say need. I know, it's not the big sexy move that we're all thinking about, right? But these are the type of moves the Cubs are going to need to make to have success in the postseason. Mr. Soroka allows a lot of flexibility for the Chicago Cubs in the future as well, especially if we are able to make that play for a decent arm, right? You know, if we can go get a frontline starter and Jameson Taillon comes back healthy, we will be able to push him more into the bullpen and kind of give us that more Colin Ray role that we kind of need from him. The thing with Mr. Soroka, though, is you cannot look at the traditional numbers, okay? You say 3-8, 4.87 ERA. What are the Cubs doing? It's not about that. You got to dive deeper into the analytics a little bit. He's a ground ball pitcher, which truly, truly helps this defense. You know, and I think this defense truly, truly helps him. His expected ERA is around a 3.03, which, again, much lower than the 4.87 that is actually happening. And, again, I do think that playing for the Nationals and playing for the Chicago Cubs this year specifically is a lot different, I would definitely say. So I do imagine he's going to get a little bit of a boost coming here to pitch for us compared to where he's been pitching here the past few months. So again, is it the sexiest move? No, but I think it's a move necessary for the Cubs. The Cubs also did trade for Andrew Kittredge late in the night last night. He's a reliever from the Baltimore Orioles. We gave him Wilfie De La Cruz, another extremely, extremely young prospect, more of a lottery ticket flyer for the Baltimore Orioles. And so, honestly, I'm okay with that as well. Could these guys come to the major leagues? Yeah, it's very, very possible, but they don't help us right now, and we need help right now, okay? So there's still plenty of time left. It's about to be 9 o'clock here, so there's still 8 hours left. Hopefully Jed is working his tail off and going to cook up something special for this Cubs team. So during the trade deadline and during this latter part of the year, let's remember perspective is key, okay? Yes, did we lose 2 of 3 to the Milwaukee Brewers? Yes, but we're only 1 game out. We have one of the best records in baseball, and we're not even healthy. Remember that. Kyle Tucker is slumping the whole 9. It's just not the best right now. But I would rather struggle now in July in comparison to October or September. So I'm not worried about Kyle Tucker, right? Prime example. He's hit 200 this month. Everyone's losing their mind about it because they're like, he's not worth $500 million. No, he's still worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Just get out of your own way. Now, if you're one of those people that believe that no baseball player is worth that, that's just a different conversation, right? But Kyle Tucker has reached base safely in 19 consecutive games, And yesterday he went 2 for 3 with 2 walks and a nice roping double to put the Cubs 8-3. I'm not concerned about Kyle Tucker, but kind of like Dexter Fowler in the 2016 run, you go, we go. You know what I'm saying? When Kyle Tucker's going, this offense hits a new level, and that's what makes this Cubs team very, very scary. So, yeah, are we struggling? We still ended July 14-10. The sky might seem like it's falling, but it really, really isn't. Yes, we're a game below the Milwaukee Brewers, who have been playing the best baseball since middle of May. You can't argue that. You can't argue with those numbers. But there's plenty of baseball to be played, and I have a feeling that water will find its level, and it's going to be a tight race till the end. So just keep that perspective, and let's enjoy the rest of this baseball season. So, trade deadline is ending today. Will the Cubs get any of these big names that they were connected to? I just got report that the Blue Jays are trading for Shane Bieber. That was a name the Cubs have been heavily connected to, not just this year, last year, or the year before, but pretty much seemingly since we ever got the GM of the Guardians, Mr. Carter Hawkins. So he's off the board as well. I really think the Cubs are talking deep talks with the Marlins and the Nationals, and they're trying to come together with the most compromising package. I think the Cubs want Edward Cabrera or Mackenzie Gore. It seems like talks have cooled off with Minnesota, but if we do make a deal with Minnesota, it's going to be Willie Castro. Again, a good bench bat. But Eugenio Suarez was traded to the Mariners yesterday, so he is off the board. Positives on that is, could the Cubs have afforded Eugenio Suarez? Yes. Are they going with Matt Shaw? Yes, and I think that is a good move. The way Matt Shaw has played these last 2 or 3 weeks, I think he's earned the right to continue to allow his development to take place at third base. And defensively, he's already better than Suarez, so we just need him to figure out that bat, which it seems like he is doing, and all will be gravy for the Cubs at third base. Now they can shift their entire focus onto more and more pitching to help this ball club take us to the next level. So, the 2 moves the Cubs have made, does it put us over the top? No, but does it help? Absolutely. We've been fighting the injury bug all season. Hopefully, Kittredge can replace Presley. We can DFA Presley and start to really simplify and finalize the bullpen for the stretch run. So, will the Cubs get Mackenzie Gore? Will we get Edward Cabrera? These are the questions. I'm not sure which rumors to believe the most. Lots of different rumors are flying all over the place. So, curious to see how Jed uses his assets. I think there's 2 more trades the Cubs are going to make. They want a starting pitcher with control. That is the number 1 goal. But I think they want to get a couple more relievers and a bench bat as well. But who will they go to? Who will they get? That is the question. I still think 2 moves are left for the Chicago Cubs, and they're going to be a big one. So, curious to let me know who you think the Cubs are going to get before 5 p.m. Drop your predictions in the comments below. All right, so no baseball today. We are going to take a breather. Hopefully it lets this team get right after dropping 10 runs on the Brewers yesterday. And again, we're only a game back. Plenty of time left in the regular season to take care of business. But we are set for 3 against the red-hot Baltimore Orioles, ladies and gentlemen. The Orioles are playing really well. They did lose yesterday because, they're the Orioles. They've been struggling all year. But if you want to look at a positive, they have been gutting their bullpen for this trade deadline, and maybe that's what's going to let the help the Cubs here in the beginning, right? So we got Cade Horton going tomorrow. The Orioles have not officially announced their pitcher yet, which, again, kind of makes sense since they are literally going through a transition period. So this could be a very, very interesting series. Hopefully the Cubs pitching can cool these bats down and keep them at bay so that we can at least take 2 of 3, maybe ideally a sweep. But this was one of the series that I targeted at the beginning of the year because I thought the Orioles were going to be a lot better than they were. But unfortunately, they've had injuries. Their starting pitching has been a mess. And so they're not quite where they want to be as a ball club. So curious to see. I made a prediction earlier about Yennier Cano, but everyone's like, no way they trade him. No way they trade him. Well, it seems like they're gutting their bullpen. So I'm not sure if he is available or he's not available, but that's another guy the Cubs could call about for sure. So lots of names left on the market for the Cubs to potentially go get. They're not going to get every single one of them, but they just lost Shane Bieber to the Jays. time is pressing. The Cubs need to make a move. Keep your phone locked. I've been refreshing Twitter pretty much all day so far. That was me yesterday. Curious to see what we pull off. So, I hope you all have a fantastic Thursday. I will be here tomorrow on Cubs Daily breaking down all the trades the Cubs make, all the trades that impact the Cubs, and so on and so forth. And we'll preview Game 1 against the Orioles. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy trade deadline day. And let's hope the Cubs make some good moves.